Hey, welcome to the Soccer Specialist. Thanks for checking this out. Hope you're having a great day. I got a chance to get out and catch a youth game, U15, U16, I think, yesterday. And one of the things that it reminded me of that I think as a group, American players really, really struggle with for some reason. I definitely would say coaching is a part of it in terms of we don't emphasize it enough. We don't make it a focal point in training. We don't try and reinforce it in this idea of possession and focusing on possession and playing out of the back and our passing and mostly keeping the ball on the ground. We don't, how do I put this? Our passes don't have enough pace. We just do not hit the ball hard enough on passes on the ground to the feet, right? Over and over. We make passes that just get there. Way back when I played, we'd call them hospital passes. But, and it's, I mean, even 95% of the passes you see completed aren't hit hard enough. Look, if you're playing to the feet, it has to be controlled. I know there where touch is going to play a role a little bit in terms of the weight of the pass, but these balls have to be played with pace. And for example, one of the ones I saw a team, and it's a shame because it was right after a good offensive sequence for them. They drilled the crossbar. Actually, really should have scored because had the goalie beaten and just needed to put it in. And I mean, struck a great shot, but didn't need to with that kind of pace. Banged it off the crossbar. Anyway, they got the ball back. They're in possession with their back line around midfield, and the center back, it comes from the right, and the center back turns, and that predictableness we talk about because we've got them so locked in into specific patterns, turns and plays the ball to the left back, and it's just not hit anywhere hard enough. Now, to be fair, because it wasn't, the left back also should have gone to the ball and didn't. But if it's a basic pass, it was about 10 yards. It needed to be hit a lot harder than it was. And so a player on the other team saw that as an opportunity to press, went in, got to the ball before it got to the fullback, in on a breakaway, goal scored. And you see this time and time again. And that's why I like the idea of letting players at younger ages, know when they try something new and they make a good decision, it didn't work, that it was a good idea. But I think that also then becomes a crutch because we have way too many good ideas that should have been good plays. And a lot of it has to do with the pace of the ball. So one of my favorite drills for two players, and it's competitive as well. You can keep score, which makes it great. That kills the proverbial two birds with one stone because it works on the weight of the pass and the first touch. It's really considered a first touch game, but if you want to win at it, you want to help your teammate develop a good first touch, it's also going to help with the weight of the pass because what you do, and this isn't the scale, okay? Those squares are kind of big, but and you can adjust the game too because as players get better, bigger, faster, stronger, that sort of thing, you can shrink the squares they're in. You can also lengthen the distance between each of their squares as well. So maybe with younger kids, you're starting out with the squares are only 4 or 5 yards apart, and the squares they're in might be 2 yards by 2 yards. But the gist of it is this: you play a pass from one player to the other. Now the player receiving the pass, and the reason I say this is because of the amount of space they have. They should start. You can't leave your square, and they should start as far back in their square as they can. That you get two touches. So they play the pass. The only rule on the pass is it has to be on the ground and it has to be within the square. So see, as you move them back and you make the square smaller, you're working on accuracy and pace of passes from further out because the pass has to be in the square. If it's not in the square, it doesn't count. So we've got a pass that goes in the square. Now this player takes their first touch. That first touch has to stay in the square. The pass, which is their second touch, has to happen. Ooh, running. We don't want to. That look kind of funny. Oh well, has to happen before the ball stops moving. So this player, you also are going to work on quick feet and movement after you make a pass. You're not just standing because this person, if they want to win, right, as soon as they make their pass, they want to get back as far back in their square as they can. So boom, this pass comes. They take their first touch. They go get it. This player comes back. Now, whenever we make a great hard pass, this first touch goes boom, it goes out, you lose a point or you get added a point, right? So you play to five, first one to five loses. So when you take a first touch that goes out of the square, you that's a point. If you hit a pass that's either in the air or it doesn't go in the square, right? Which because there's another issue we have accuracy. Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. But if I were to hit this pass, say we've gotten better, right? And our square's gotten smaller, and then I hit this pass and it goes here or it hits the cone, point for this player over here because it wasn't an accurate pass. So you get a lot of things in this simple drill. First, you're going to get it's obviously it's technical. There's no defense, but you still there's a competitive element to it because you're playing to a score, right? So you've got the pace of the pass. You want to hit the ball as hard as you can, keeping it on the ground and accurately, because one, you want to challenge your player's first touch, your teammate's first touch to help them get better, but you also want to win, right? You want to win. So, and then of course your first touch is challenged, and and also movement off the ball, quick feet without the ball, because as soon as you make that pass, you want to get to that back line to give yourself as much room as possible, right? And then, like I said, you make the square smaller as you get better for your first touch. You can move back a little further, so you're becoming more accurate with your passes from a distance as you move back, as the square gets smaller, et cetera, et cetera. So I just wanted to go over that because that really stood out to me in that game, and it just was one of those things over the years as coaching that I see that is just a really, really common problem for a lot of American players is balls to feet are simply not hit hard enough. Look, they're also not accurate enough. When you're playing out, if you're playing out and you've got a target, forward at midfield waiting for a pass back to goal, or even more so in the final third, if they're at the top of the box, for example, a lot of times it becomes not only do you have to hit it to their feet, but you have to hit it to the correct foot. It's not about getting it near them. Getting it near them when you're younger works a lot, but as you get older, it has to be more and more accurate to the feet with pace, and then even to a specific foot because of the way the defense is playing them, right? You're helping them out with how they're going to turn, which if a defender's on their left shoulder, you want to play to their right foot. If you play to their feet, and what seems everybody thinks is an accurate pass, but you play to the left foot to where they're turning into that defender, you caused the turnover, not them. So I'm going to leave it there because I know I've been rattling for a while, but I really do appreciate you checking this out. Also, depending on where you're seeing this, YouTube, Rumble. I don't know if it's probably too long for Instagram at this point, but please give it a like, give it a comment, follow, subscribe, whatever the case might be. It really does help me out a lot. I really do appreciate it. Also, if you want to really work on your touch, because there's also a ball and the wall program, which will help a lot for you as an individual player, go check out Impact Soccer System at impactsoccerperformance.com/system. All right, you get tons of great stuff to work on your technical ball control. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for checking this out. Really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.